Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of What If Civilization Started Over. And in today's episode, the plague is going to finally be slowing down in its rampage. Of course, there's basically South Africa that it can reach to, and of course, the Australian countries. But we are going to go ahead and get to that. First, before we get to the plague, I'm going to be turning the plague off for a second. And I'm going to be talking about, right now, the economics of the world isn't so good. And what I mean by that is, the stock market collapsed around this time of the episode. So the stock market has just collapsed. And, this is going to make a lot more countries collapse. And just to paint you a picture, up here, this pink country is dead. At the same time, this country right here is gone. Down here, this country right here, it collapses. It's a little bit more stable than the rest, but it's like in the state of collapsing, like civil war kind of thing. And so that is already 3 more countries that have collapsed. But if we look at the plague, we can see exactly what countries got taken over by the plague and what countries didn't. For instance, this country right up here collapses, and they were actually kind of good. The green team, it's going to collapse. And that is our last collapse. Out of all the guys, the green team was probably the strongest. And they were the most capable, and they were actually pretty stable. I would say like mid-stable, it's just their economy collapsed. So now you can see there's a ton more people that are, there's a lot more collapsed countries. But, now we're going to take a look at the plague. And it's going to be down here like I said, but there are going to be some areas that are going to be, the plague is going to try to take over better. But, up here the plague, like I said, the plague is dying down. So at the start of the episode, or like during the first month of this, it's dying down. And a vaccine has been formed. And it's very effective. It doesn't get rid of the virus, but it keeps it, it stalls it for about a few weeks. But as that's being developed, this border is starting to close. And the borders down here are going to close. This pink country is completely closed off. Madagascar closes off this part, and they surround their capital. And they make processes to start doing it all around their whole island. Meanwhile, up here, the plague, like I said, the plague hasn't been spreading as fast. So it'll probably get to like here. And it gets to the purple team. But, anyway, but at this point, this area has been closed off. And a lot of this area up here has been closed off. They aren't able to close it all in time, however. But over here, it actually closes it off a lot. Over here, these guys, I really like their borders, but they might end up collapsing soon. But they are able to fortify the southern area down here in the. Because if you remember, this is like the core purple team from the breakaway state, and they're able to fortify this as well as that area. But this northern area has been kind of taken over, and there might be a breakaway trying to happen soon. So we'll just have to see. As for down here, they're gonna go ahead and close their borders off a little bit better. Of course, the plague will seep through. It always does. And it makes it down into the Dark Scion team. And at this point, it doesn't really do anything. It just stays. Of course, we see something very strange happening. All of the people who've been able to block the virus, essentially, the communist team, the communist Chinese, the Indonesians, and now the South Africans are all able to hold back the virus. But some stranger stuff has happened, as the Indians didn't really hold it back. But there's something to think about. And something else I want to talk about is a new person came into power in one of these countries, and that's actually Brazil, and it is a fascist, and they encourage a lot of these other guys to be fascist. And if you know, there is this alliance with these four guys, and eventually this guy and this guy both become fascist. These guys are very strong democracies, so they're gonna be like, actually no. And this is where kind of like the alliance kind of shifts from like more everybody being democratic to some fascist and some democracies down here. But this one is still bigger, and by this point, it's going to gain another member, being the Falkland Island team. Don't know why they don't have one. Yeah, I thought I already did. But that'll just solidify it. So now this alliance is pretty good size. And you can see that the South is very democratic, and we actually see this guy. He used to be this guy right here. He used to be a dictatorship, I'm pretty sure. But now he's fully changed into a democracy after being a democracy for some time. But now we're gonna get back to the plague. Instead of being in Africa, we're now gonna move to it being over here, as we see it's somehow ending up in the Philippines right here. And we see them taking a lot of this land. And they are able to fortify some of these islands and make like a island blockade. But they are able to close down the southern island here, and they make it a little bit onto the mainland, but it's not really anything. Meanwhile, down here they're working to fortify all of Borneo. For now, they are able to get the north. So they basically get all that, and then they get some smaller areas like East Timor, and then some just other islands, including some of these islands of Papua New Guinea. Now, it's pretty blocked, but you'll see later why it'll spread down to Australia. Speaking of that later time, it is calm right now, and this is the part where I show you where it leaks into, where we see it leak into some of these countries. So I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna kind of make like a time lapse of it. Not really, but yeah. So first up, we see Red Alaska. See all of this land being taken. Moving on to our next country. Next countries, we have the blue team, the yellow team, and the red team, who all have a little bit of leakage. Next, this is going to be kind of like a speed round. I'm going to show you, I'm going to say the name of the country, or at least the location, and then move on to the next one. Texas and the Peach Team. Colombia. HRE. Brazil. Argentina and the Republic of Uruguay. Argentina. Spain. Italy. The green team. Turkey. And the red team. Africa. Asia. And Australia. So that will conclude the basically breaking down of what the plague has been able to make it through. And you might have noticed a lot, especially from Asia and Africa, because that's where it's the most vulnerable currently. And there was a breakthrough right here in the Philippines down to Papua New Guinea, which might make all of Australia be infected. Who knows? Well, I do. But that is going to end for today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. It might have been a little bit shorter than a normal one. I don't know. I have to check the recording. But just know that 55 is the end of the plague. And 56 is going to be the most important video I've ever recorded on the channel. So I really hope you stay tuned and you enjoy it. But I will see you next time, and show your support, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.